States had Thanksgiving last weekend. Christmas is coming, Christmas parties are coming, and are you ready? Are you interested in attending them? There's the whole pandemic thing with all of the different strains coming out of COVID. And are you in? Are you out? Are you masked? Are you unmasked? It's really a complicated year on top of all of the normal things that happen during the holidays. The pressure to get gifts. This year it's added pressure. Things aren't available. Do you not get them? It's really complicated. So I'm glad that you're joining me tonight. I'm Holly Pitus, a certified emotion code, body code practitioner. And since you found me on this page, I'm going to believe that you have a little bit of an idea of what the emotion code and the body code are. If you are joining me tonight, I would love to have you tell me where you are joining from. I'm just trying to put a little comment in here so that you can see where you would say hello. And is it on? I don't know. I need to see where my comments are. There we go. It's finally showing. So yeah, I can have them show along the bottom. So as I was saying, thank you so much for joining me. So with the holidays, and whether you are dealing with family or coworkers, if you're dealing with a lot of little kids, a lot of somebody else's little kids when maybe you're not used to having them in your house or being around them, and it's a little bit of a different environment, or your pets, if you're pulling out decorations and things, are your pets destroying them or confused by them? Are they, knocking over the tree? I know one family that had a little boy and they had a cat, and he was about 2.5, 3 years old at the time. Parents were sleeping in, and the cat was going up to the Christmas tree and batting the ornaments off. They were glass ornaments in those days. It was a long time ago. And then he had a little wooden hammer and he was smashing the ornaments. So the cat would bat, he would smash. The cat would bat, he would smash. So things like that happen. And then suddenly it's upon you, and what do you do with it? So this is where the emotion code can help in a really wonderful way. So it's a means of processing these unprocessed negative emotions. And you see the book behind me. The system was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a retired holistic chiropractor, and as he was working with people doing these beautiful physical adjustments for them, they were still coming back with the same ache or pain or difficulty. And so one thing led to another, and through research and prayer and discovery, he created this emotion code and then went further to do the body code. So the emotion code is based on having these negative trapped emotions. And if you are able to see these, it's divided into 2 columns and 6 rows. And so they're common words. It's like, crying or anxiety or abandonment or, failure. All of these emotions that we could have adopted at any time in our life. And so what's the sense in carrying them around? Or when you have a habit or something that you're doing and you're saying, I always do this, and I can't break free of this age-old habit of mine, it's very likely a negative trapped emotion. And not only can you have your own, but you can absorb them from someone else. So maybe you have a cranky coworker, and you were fine and having a lovely day before you talk to the coworker. You have some sort of interaction with them, and you walk away and you have this feeling like, this feeling just sort of came over me. And it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be anything under the sun. And so I think you might have had an experience like that, or maybe you know somebody who has told you about their experience. I don't have a graphic uh, for the body code, but the body code goes into something that is more than just the negative trapped emotions. And as a matter of fact, I was working on my little Lucy. Lucy's had, I love Lucy. So she is here. This is a picture of her in the summertime. Let me get rid of the emotion code chart. So that's Lucy. She was out sniffing the flower pot that day, and she is a rescue. If you've been following me, you know that she's a rescue, and actually all of our dogs are rescues. So we don't really know what happened to her before she came to us. We've had her now for 5 years, and she's had some dental issues and had some infections in her teeth and had to have some teeth removed, and we thought we had it taken care of, and she went back a couple months later and had to have more teeth removed. And so one of the things that the body code is really good about addressing is that even though that tooth has been removed, there are still emotions and energies that are sort of trapped in the essence of where that tooth was. And so being able to work with her on emotions and literally asking about her teeth, if there were any emotions that were stored in that area. And I'm currently working on Jethro. I don't have a good picture close-up of Jethro, but he is my latest rescue, another hound dog. So he looks like a miniature Lucy. And poor little guy, he don't know what his experience was. He's an old dog now, and he came with all broken teeth. His little teeth in the front are like little nubs. His canines were broken, and he had just really a rough looking mouth. And so the vet thought that it might be something like his being just overcrated, that he was chewing on the grate, or maybe like a cyclone fence or some sort of hard fencing, or a chain or something. Whatever it was hard, but it's all broken in the front. So sad for these little rescue animals, and how awful it must have been for him to be trapped somewhere and having a broken tooth, all the pain that comes along with it. So even though he's been to the dentist now and had this taken care of, there's still kind of that memory of the pain that could be there. And then, if you are a person that has been having chronic pain, like, your knees hurt or your shoulders hurt, or you get headaches, or some of those kind of common stress triggered discomforts or pains, it's the same thing with our animals, that Jethro might have an experience that maybe we're driving in the car and I have to stop fast or something, or somebody else honks a horn, and it can startle him. And then right away, it's sort of like, where does his nervousness or his emotions go? They go right into his teeth. So, and that is just actually a possibility. He can't tell me. So, it's sort of an experimentation with the emotion code and the body code, to be able to go through them, to be able to ask about these individual parts, and see what we can release, these negative trapped emotions. And then once that emotion goes, it's gone. So that is incredibly wonderful. So I would love to be able to do a demonstration with someone here tonight. I don't have anybody set up to do it with me already. So if you are watching and you can join, give me a comment, tell me hello. I've got some interesting things coming up over the holidays, because I know people are under extra pressure during this month and trying to work things up before the end of the year. And, it's kind of your last shot. We're entering now the final 30 days of the year. So if you haven't reached your goals yet, well, either get cracking on them or you're going to have to refine them and try them for next year. So in 2022, there are some fun things coming up. I'm planning a New Year's Day special, and so you will be able to learn more about that as the days and weeks go on. And so I am going to just remind you here about, I'm just looking for my little graphic, for doing the emotion code and the body code. I have to hide my Lucy. There's a lot of buttons to push here at the bottom. So doing the emotion code and body code, to be able to schedule an appointment, you're able to just go online, and if I can show this part, sometimes it takes me a minute. There we go. So it's easy to schedule an appointment. You have found me here on my Facebook page. There are links on the page. There are links on the YouTube page. And if they're not there yet, sometimes those things don't always show up right away. YouTube right now at the end of 2021 is going through some updates and changes. So I can make sure that the link to schedule your appointment is there. And otherwise, you can always find me at my website, which is hollypitas.com, Pitas. The caption always misspells my name, but Get Feeling Better. That's an easy way to find me. So Get Feeling Better using the emotion code, the body code, and a couple of other modalities that I work in. So I am wishing you a wonderful Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So I hope you have a great week.